So a lot of people when they come to Spain are going to be a little bit confused because they'll see lots of different kinds of police officers when you're here, and they wear different uniforms and they have different style of cars and they operate in different areas and different levels of policing. So in this week's episode, which is 182 of 2 Minute Tuesday, we're going to take a look at the three main kinds of police officers that you'll find here in Spain, what their responsibilities are and what they do and how you're likely to interact with them should you. So welcome to episode 182 of 2 Minute Tuesday with Hondon Valley Homes. Okay, so as I said, in mainland Spain there are three main types of police officers that you will come into contact with. And so number one is the local police, or Policía Local. Now they are local police. They're normally employed by your local town hall, so they'll be responsible for matters within the municipality of the town hall itself. So they're going to be dealing with things like enforcing local ordinances and regulations. It'll be traffic control within the municipality, parking tickets, things like that. Maintaining public order at local events and things. So when we have the fiestas and things like that, you'll see all the police officers there, helped by the Protection Civil, and they'll be making sure that everybody is safe and that the traffic is controlled, things like that. They'll be providing assistance in the case of emergencies. So, for example, if there was an ambulance called, then they would make sure that the access for the ambulance was fine, and they would probably even guide the ambulance itself to the place where it was needed. And as I said, these are police that you'll come into contact with every day. And if you live in a small village like Hondon, you'll probably know the name of the local police officers, and you'll see them on a daily basis. The second level of police that we have, and the ones that people have a degree of intrepidation, are the civil guard, or the Guardia Civil, and they have a dual role. They retain a sort of a dual military and civil status. So they operate under both the Ministry of the Interior and the Ministry of Defence. Their jurisdiction primary is in rural areas. It's maintaining sort of highways, which will be the Tráfico, and also the borders. So you'll see the Guardia Civil at airports. So as you go through security and things like that, you'll see Guardia Civil patrolling the airports. The traffic regulation by the Guardia Civil Tráfico, which is probably the Guardia Civil that you'll come into contact with the most. Border control and customs enforcement, so again airports and ports and things like this. Also they have environmental protection and enforcement of wildlife laws, so there is actually like a forestry branch as well of the Guardia Civil that we have here in Hondon. We have one of the officers who is responsible for countryside issues. Guardia Civil are also responsible for anti-terrorism, so they were very prominent in sort of the Basque regions and things like that. National defence and support and disaster relief. So you'll see Guardia Civil there. And they specialise, or they have specialised departments that deal in things like mountain rescue, underwater activities, maritime operations, drugs and things like that. So that is the Guardia Civil, and you'll see those. So the Policía Local, you'll see them in their blue uniform. The Guardia Civil have a sort of a green uniform, and they're the serious police officers, or the serious National Guard. And then the third one that you see, which if, for example, you're here in Hondon, you won't see them very often because they're more city-based, but this is the National Police, or Policía Nacional, and they are primarily working in urban areas, so they'll be in the towns and the cities. So in the village here we will have the Policía Local, but the Policía Nacional will be in cities like Elche and Alicante, and you'll see them in their cars. And again, their car is different to the Guardia Civil or the Policía Local cars, and they are crime investigation and prevention. So they're more of a general police role, maintaining public order in the large cities, handling matters with regards to immigration, passports, So again, when you see the officers, if you're a UK passport holder and you still go through the passport control, that'll probably be a Politia Nacional officer that you see, who looks at you, looks at your passport, gives you a stamp and no smile. And they also provide protection for high-profile individuals such as government officers and things like that. And then finally, it's drug enforcement is the final thing that they do. So these are the three main kinds of police officers that you'll come into contact with in Spain. Hopefully you won't need to come into contact with any of them, but if you do, you at least have a little guideline as to who they are, what they are, and what they do. So that's it for this week's episode of 2 Minute Tuesday, short and sweet. Hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll be back in a couple of weeks with a new episode. So until then, adios, be good, don't get in contact with the police, and if you do, don't call me. Adios.